Hey, hello. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope your day's going well. Your week, your year, your month. So, I went to this meeting. It was pretty much on anger. A reading on anger. Um, and ways to cope. And I like to talk about that because that is something that is probably number one, if not number one, definitely number two on my list that I need to conquer within myself. Anger is very hard for me. A little over 7 years sober, and it's hard. It's hard. It's getting better. It's getting easier, but it's still very hard. My mouth is very sharp. A good friend of mine says I'm a black belt in tongue fu. I was like, yeah, me too, me too. And but it's like not fun, being angry. It's not fun. It used to be angry. I used to like the power it brought to me. It gave me some sort of voice. It gave me some sort of self-esteem. Anger allowed me to do that, and it really came from substances for the most part. Every time I got in trouble, the substance was there in me, and I let loose with anger. I was able to let loose with anger. And even in my story, that I had all these justified reasons for being angry, which are justified, and they're truth. But like, if I use my past to be angry all the time, if I use that as an excuse, I'm staying stuck and I'm not evolving. I'm not able to evolve. I'm not able to move on. If I want to play a victim because of my past and use that and get angry when someone wants to challenge me about my past, I'm just staying stuck. And that is just dumb and not productive and a waste of time and a waste of energy. So, we're going to talk about things that help me deal with anger, my anger, other people's anger. Try to think in different ways. And there's a couple of examples that I seen in action. I lived it. I seen a certain action that I took combat my anger, and I seen the program work. I seen other people's experiences, suggestions work. So you can't, you could say, "Oh yeah, I tried that before, it didn't work." Well, try again, or find another way. But my suggestions that were given to me and the suggestions I'm gonna give to you worked for me. And you can't tell me otherwise because I lived it, and I'm still living it. I'm still living it. When I was like newly sober, I had to figure out other ways to cope with me, as I've said in other videos. And good people from my home group gave me work because I couldn't find work, so I would get a day here, a week here, and I was on my friend's, property. So, clean up the sticks. Here's a chainsaw. You can cut up the wood, make a pile somewhere. I'm like, okay. Um, I was like probably like 2 years sober, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years sober, and not much of a program. I mean, I kind of went through the steps, but it was hard to apply them. So still is hard. It's getting easier now. Something happened where the freaking chainsaw broke, as they always do, and my usual thing is my mo. If I can't fix something in one shot, in one try, it's not gonna get fixed ever again. I'm gonna break that thing into a million pieces, and that's it. That's my usual reaction to that. It has one chance. I have one chance to fix it. Because those are my facts, I remember even before drugs and alcohol, trying to fix my bike. I had like one shot. I didn't fix it. I broke it. I broke it. I tossed it. I tossed everything. I tossed the tools. Freaked out. That's what I did. That's what I did on a regular as a kid. So I tried to fix it. It didn't work. I was about to toss this freaking chainsaw. Make sure it like never works ever again. And I stopped. I stopped. And I thought about it. Because I was in the middle of it. My belly was on fire. I was like, I was gonna toss it. I'm like, I stopped and I thought about it. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure my friend wouldn't appreciate that. Okay? That's a victory number one right there. Just even doing that is a victory. Anybody with anger problems know what I'm saying. I stopped. I walked away from it. That's another thing. You stop whatever you're doing, you think about what you're doing, and then you walk away. I did it right in that order. I don't walk away. Not an unusual thing. I walked away and I started fiddling with something else. A tire on something. Just to get away from it because I was getting angry. And I tell you, while I was fiddling with that, I was able to calm down and I was able to think, even though I didn't even know I was thinking. I was still thinking about the thing, but I was doing a positive action to calm down. And in the midst of that, an idea came to me. I was like, about the chainsaw. An idea. I was like, where'd that come from? Okay, well, let me try this out. Boom, boom, boom. I put it together the way I thought, and it started right up. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's the first time that I saw the program in action. I lived it that moment. And I was so proud of myself. That was a victory. That was a total victory over me. I won. I won that. I won the battle with me. I was so proud of myself. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this. I was so present, and I saw the whole thing transpire because I was there, and I was just like, I can't believe this. That freaking worked. I can't believe this. That worked. I was like, wow, that was amazing. I was like, wow, I can really do this. I really can do this. I can change. That's just one example. And it doesn't happen often, unfortunately. It's hard for me to stop and think and walk away, do something else, do an exercise, breathe. There's a lot of different ways to cope. But when you're in the midst of it, it's hard to go against what you've always done. It's like breathing. It's Anger is like breathing for me. It's hard to go against what you've always done. There's another example. I was at a construction site a few years later, and I fail a lot. I'm going to tell you right now, I fail a lot. But at least I know that I failed, and at least I care that I failed. I'm like, well, that didn't go too well. Let me try again. At least I know that I failed, and at least I care. That's a win too, right there. You know, it doesn't sound like it. It is a win. I was at a construction site. This foreman told me, asked me to do a certain project. I'm like, yeah, sure, cool, thank you. I started doing it. He, through his experience, he had a better way of doing it, and he tried it. He's like, "Girl, check this out." He showed me a different way, and right away, my ego, and that's where a lot of the problem lies, is in my ego. My ego was getting hurt. It's like, dude, you told me to do the freaking project. If you want to fucking do it yourself. That's fine. Why'd you ask me to fucking do it and now you're doing it? That pisses me off. No, that doesn't piss me off. That pisses off my ego. That's the problem. I think that's the main problem with freaking anger. The ego gets in the way. It's a pride thing. It all stems around pride. And my ego was getting hurt because that means you're telling me that I don't know what I'm doing. And for the most part, I probably didn't know what I was doing. That's the facts. But my ego doesn't want to hear that. I know everything. My ego thinks I know everything. I am the smartest person in the world. I am the toughest person in the world. I can beat anybody in a fight. I can do all this stuff, which gives you like some self-esteem in a way, but it's skewed one way. There's not a balance with my ego. It's skewed one way where it's kind of messed up. It's not helping me. Ego can help you and has helped us, and that's why we've survived all these years. It's because of our ego, kind of, the survival mode type of thing, questioning, judging people. But now it's skewed one way where it's all like negative. And my ego just does negative. It thinks negatively. It helps me to think negatively. So having that awareness, that try to think that you're not your ego, because that's huge. That helped me a lot. That helped me in this example right here. Dude, do yourself, bro. And I didn't say that. I was thinking that, and a mantra. Because when I'm angry, I can't hear you. No matter how much you're trying to help me, I can't hear you. So, a mantra came to me, a little meme. And I kept on saying it over and over again. And you could say prayers, say anything positive to help you to calm down. That's another way, coping mechanism. This just came to me. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know where. But I said to myself, I am not my ego. I am not my ego. I am not hurt. My ego is hurt. I am not hurt. My ego is hurt. I am not my ego. And I kept on saying that. And I calmed down. I calmed down like quick. I calmed down. My ego calmed down. We calmed down. I don't know. But whatever. As soon as I was able to calm down, I was able to hear what he had to say. I was able to hear him. And I looked at what he did. I was like, wow, that is way better than what I had planned. Because he had more experience. He's a foreman for a reason. He's not completely useless. He's, and I'm not a freaking full carpenter either. Even though I was getting like the carpenter title, I'm not a carpenter. I could do carpenter-like things. I'm not a carpenter. And he showed me what to do. I'm like, wow, that was way easier than I was thinking. And it was the way he said it too. The way you say things to other people. Like I don't have that ability too well. I'm gonna say something to you and it's probably gonna hurt your feelings. And I don't mean that. Most of the time I don't mean that. Some other times I do mean it. But how you talk to people, it's a huge freaking thing. You could say one thing in two ways, and they could be interpreted in two ways, even though you're just saying one way, one thing. You could say it in a positive way, in a non-threatening way, or you could say it in a negative way. And the person's going to get defensive. But meanwhile, it's the same message that you were trying to get across. And, whoa, I need to learn that too. Of how to talk to people in a chill way where it's not threatening. Get my point across and that's it. There's no need to be sarcastic with me. How I deliver. The delivery is, I need to figure that out too. But this person had that. And because he had that, I was able to hear a little bit faster, a little bit easier. Instead of him having an attitude with me. Because if he has an attitude with me and I can still hear the message, my ego's still going to get hurt. Because now you have an attitude with me. Because now you're talking down to me and you think I'm stupid. Which is a pet peeve. That's a hard one for me to overlook. And be the bigger man and be like, okay, he's just... And not take it personally. I take everything personally, and once again, my ego is getting hurt, not me. And if you can let that go and not internalize it and then beat yourself up over it because you didn't see nothing or you're a weakling because you didn't stick up for yourself. No, that's false. It's false. It's all fake bullshit. It's fake bullshit. It's your ego talking shit to you. And, whoa, if you could see that in the moment, I give you props. And if you can't right now, keep trying, please, because it's worth it. It's worth your happiness. It's not worth being fucking angry for fucking nothing. I was able to hear his message. I was like, wow, that was a good idea. Hey, thank you. And he's like, hey, no problem. And he went off and did his thing. And I saw the program in action. I saw people's experience and their suggestions in action. I lived it again. I lived it. And I was like so proud of myself again. That was victory over me. That was victory over me. But there, unfortunately, there's like a couple of examples instead of many more examples. So I fail a lot more than I win. But when I win, it's freaking great. It's great. And what I mean by win, I win over me. I am conquering me. I'm going against my grain. And my past karma, or my past thinking, and my past actions. I'm going against that so I can change for the better, so I can evolve, so I can be a better me. That's the whole freaking point. Then when I'm a better me, I'm happy. I'm happy. And other people around me are happy. One more example for you, and that just happened recently. I went to I was delivering, for my job. I was delivering at this place. And for my job, you usually have to take a temperature of the truck because we have some stuff that need to keep cool. Either they're going to accept the temperature or they're not. And this guy had an attitude right away. Right away, I'm not sure what was wrong with him, but he's had an attitude. Had nothing to do with me. And he's like, no, I don't feel like going out there. Because to bring the truck in for me, it's just like a pain in the ass. Especially when I have like 5 items. I have a door. The back door to the freaking truck is like a door. It's not like a roll up where it's easy. So you can't really back in fully. You kind of have to like back up, open the door, then back in. It's like too much of a pain in the ass. When all you could do, and all like everybody else does with this particular customer, they all just come out. It takes 2 seconds to take a temperature. Okay, I'll see you inside. Okay, that's it. That's it. Done. I bring the stuff in, you scan it, you sign my thing, and I'm on my way. And everybody's happy. No, this guy had a problem. I don't feel like going out there. The truck is right outside the freaking door. I mean, it's right there. Okay. I try to back in. I can't do it. I'm on a one-way. I'm a little bit past the door, the dock door. I'm trying to back in. There's cars all over the place because it's a one-way and it's in New York City, and what do you got to do? I went around the block to get a better angle at coming in. A guy in front of me backed right in because I'm not the only one there delivering. I was like, oh, well, let me try again. Let me try to find somebody else this time. All right? That was my thinking. Let me try to find somebody else. He's having a bad day, whatever. I go in there. He looks at me and he's like, I thought you were backing in. Fuck. Fuck out of here. And he was just like, I'm just like, huh? And I was just like, I didn't say anything. Victory. I didn't say anything. I was like, and I chuckled. Because it was like, that was ego. I chuckled. I was like, who, you talking to me that way? And that was ego. Having like a little mini last word. I'm like, okay. And I walked away. That's a victory too. Walking away. That's victory. I'm like, okay. And he goes and say, because he got a little aggravated about my chuckle. So his ego was going against him, and my ego was going against me. They're fighting each other. Eckhart Tolle says that's a pain body. His pain body is hurting my pain body, so my pain body hurt his pain body back by chuckling, by laughing. I think it's possible. But something funny? There's something funny? Oh, I turn around like, what? And right there, the way I said that, the way I looked, the grimace that I had on my face right there. You see that? The grimace, I was like, what? You see that? That's how I said. That's ego. That's ego right there. That's my ego defending myself, defending itself against his ego. So it's like a battle of egos right here. Something funny? I'm like, yeah, this is fucking funny. And that's ego. That was totally ego. He said something else. I have no idea what he said. But I walked away. Which is victory. So I kind of did okay in that. Because that was confrontational. That could have got like ugly like pretty quick for no reason at all. I don't know why. He was having a bad day. It had nothing to do with me. But I added to it. My ego added to that confrontation that was meaningless. Just because he was having a bad day or a bad week or bad year or bad life, And that's another thing. If I can think of how that other person is thinking, well, maybe he's having a bad day. Maybe he's having... If you can think that way, whoo! That's huge. That's huge right there. That changed your thinking from this to like, maybe, put yourself in that person's shoes. That calms down the ego. That calms down your anger. I walked away and I was just like, that was a win. Even though I gave him some ego, I fed into my ego, I still won over me. But my ego would tell me, oh, you pussied out against him. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. When your ego is talking like that, fuck off. I don't need your input right now. All you do is get me in trouble. And that is facts. That's facts. My ego gets me in trouble. Don't you know who the fuck I am? I'm going to let you know. I'm the smartest guy in the world. I am the toughest guy in the world. I will not take your shit. False, actually. I am not the smartest guy in the world. I don't know a lot, actually. And I'm not the toughest guy in the world, which means tough and a patriarchal, how do you say it? Patriarchal life that we're living here. Me being a tough guy is me fighting. That's a tough guy. When that is false. That's bullshit. But me backing down, walking away, doing the right thing right there, that's me being a pussy. That's what my ego says to me. My ego is not my amigo. It's not my friend. You know, it's skewed. It used to be my friend. It's kind of over here somewhere. It needs to get balanced again. So those insights with that are just like so huge, and it takes a lot of work. But it's worth it. If you conquer yourself, oh man, nobody can touch you. Nobody can touch you. You can think about someone else. You're like, okay, even in traffic. Who hates traffic out there? You know, especially when some idiot gets into an accident. How selfish is that thinking? Don't you know who I am? Don't you know I need to be somewhere? What if that person just got hurt? What if that person died in that accident? My little problems aren't a big fucking problem. Actually, that person has a problem, or people, whoever's involved. If you're in traffic because of an accident, why don't you try thinking that way? Try to turn that thinking, that selfish, self-centered thinking, from the ego, and try to say, "Oh, maybe that person's hurt. I hope he's okay. I'll pray that person's okay." Praying for people. That's what I was taught to do. Pray for people. You see people arguing or fighting on the road, pray for them. Try to be part of the solution. And don't friggin' record people that are beating the shit out of each other either. That's some bullshit. Take some fucking action and try to be part of the solution. I hate that when people record something fucked up going on and they're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to document this and I'm going to... No, you're not going to do anything. You're just being an asshole and you're not being part of the solution. That's dumb. Whoever does that out there, that's just dumb. Oh, I'm giving awareness to... No, how about you do something fucking productive and help the fucking person that needs help? How about that? That takes more guts. That takes more nerve. More strength. And I pray for the strength every freaking day so I can do the right thing. Because when that bullshit happens, I want the strength to do the right thing. But, I digress. That went off the topic there. But, you try those suggestions out. Breathe, walk away, do some exercise, pray, have a little mantra, saying, to try to keep you out of ego. Try to be the observer of your ego. I am not my ego. My ego is getting hurt, not me. Say nothing. Stop. Don't say anything. Just stop and observe. Observe how you're feeling and why you're feeling. If you can stop and see how you're feeling, like, okay, I'm getting angry. Why am I getting angry? Well, my ego's getting hurt right now. Why is my ego getting hurt? Because this guy is pretty much calling me a pussy. And who cares? Well, my ego cares. That's who. My ego cares. And none of that is relevant at all. Who cares? But when you have to try to calm your mind so you can think straight. If you're in rage mode, you can't think. At least that's from my experience. I can't think straight. I can't think straight. So I'll have to keep on coming because I fail a lot. But hopefully this video will help me as much as if it helps somebody else. And be well. I hope this helped you. Try to work it. And if you fail, just try again. Just keep on trying again, because you have to make new habits, as I do. As do I. But it's worth it, because I lived some winnings over me. I lived it. Those are stories. Those are real. No matter how cheap they were, no matter how petty they were, and they were petty, they were real. And that's what I have to deal with on a regular basis, is I have to deal with me. And the more I conquer me, the easier life is. So stay positive, love your life, and be blessed.